Hi, I'm Mindy Peters, the Solutions Manager at SPI, and in this video, we are going to do two things. First, I'm going to follow up on our previous video and show you the next step for an automation if you are having transcripts produced by rev.com. And the second thing I'm going to show you is a really great tool inside of Zapier to help you discover new automations that you can put in place for the tools that you're already using. So let's get started on that first point. In my last video, I showed you how to use Zapier to automatically order your podcast transcripts. And I showed you how to do that ordering them from rev.com, descript.com, or you could search Zapier for any other transcription service. I'm going to focus on rev.com because there's another automation that we can set up for after your transcript is produced. We can use Zapier to have those transcripts automatically get loaded into a Dropbox folder so that you never even have to log into Rev to get that transcript. And on the second point of this video, I found this automation by exploring Zapier. Let me show you this. So here we are logged into Zapier, and in this left-hand sidebar that we have here, this is the dashboard. And when you click on the dashboard, this is what you see. And what this is designed to do is help you search for new Zaps with the tools that you're already familiar with. So the way that I found the automation I'm going to walk you through today is I was just exploring and trying to find more Zaps that I could set up for Rev. So I just put in here, search, connect this app, and I chose Rev from the dropdown. And look, Zapier has some recipes that are all set up to help us get started. And you can do this for any other apps that you regularly use. Come in here and just search and see if Zapier has any recipes already for you. So here's a search for another app that you are most likely using, and that's Google Sheets. I know a lot of online business owners rely on Google Docs for storing information. We use it a lot at SPI, and Google Sheets in particular is really great for working inside of Zapier and for connecting inside of automations. And so I've searched for Google Sheets, and you can see there are a bunch of different recipes here for ways that you can use Google Sheets. There's ways to use Google Sheets with Gmail, with Typeform, with Trello. So whatever app you're using, it's absolutely worth coming into Zapier and searching and seeing if they've got any great ideas for how you can automate using data with that app. So let's get back to our Rev example. The one that we are going to look at here is this add new Rev captions to Dropbox as files. Let's just click on try it. And what's great about that is Zapier is going to set up the Zap for us. We'll hit get started. So the first thing we need to do is choose our Rev account. And it has already found my existing Rev account. I'll hit next. The next thing I'll do is connect my Dropbox account. And then I'll hit next. Now I'll choose my folder here. Now, two things. If you followed my previous video where I showed you how to set up a folder so that you can automatically order your podcast transcripts, you need to use a different folder for this. You can't use the same folder because remember, anytime you put a file into that folder, a transcript gets ordered. So this would create a very weird loop. The second thing is, as with the last app, unfortunately with Zapier right now, you cannot connect a Dropbox Teams folder here. You can only connect your personal folders within your team account. I've chosen my folder and I'll hit next. And so now we'll just walk through the settings here. And so we are just going to choose, so overwrite. That is if there is a file with the same name already in that folder, should this overwrite that file, or should it just create another file in there? I'm going to say no. I would always default to don't overwrite and let me sort it out. For our file name here, we can choose that from the Rev step. And so I'm just going to choose the file name from Rev will be the file name going into my folder. And so finally, you can specify a file extension. So if you want a docx versus a txt, if you have a strong preference, you can put that in here. I'm going to leave this blank. All right, and here's the test. So what has happened is Zapier has gone into my Rev account and it has looked for a previous transcript that I've ordered. You can see this is actually a .srt file, which means these are video captions. That's totally cool. I will hit send test. And now I can check my Dropbox folder to see if that file has ended up there. So let's take a look. And here I am in my Dropbox account. I'm in the transcripts folder, and you can see that that file, SPI Pro Courses, has ended up in my Dropbox account. So I'll come back here and hit next. And then my last step is to just turn on this Zap. Now, if you've been working in Zapier for a while, you may notice that this looked different than the way we typically build Zaps. This is just sort of Zapier's working off of a recipe. But if we then go into our Zapier account, we'll find that file here inside of our list of Zaps. And if I click on that, you'll see that in here now it has the more sort of regular traditional look of a Zapier Zap that we're used to. You can always come in here and edit, make tweaks if you need to, but now you've got your transcripts automatically showing up in your Dropbox account without having to log into Rev each time to retrieve them. What's super nice about that is then they're just there when you're ready to use them. I hope this video was useful to you. Every week on this channel, we publish tutorials, how-tos on how to streamline your online business, as well as we regularly hold live events for online entrepreneurs. So if that sounds good to you, hit the subscribe button.